Well, I know what you're thinking. Not my employees. They would never steal from me. Well, I've got some disturbing news for you. If you have employees, there's a very good chance at least one of them is stealing from you. According to the Association of Certified Fraud Examiners, a typical business will lose on the average of 6% of revenue from employee theft. Now, the frequency of internal theft as compared to external theft is slightly lower, but the loss per incident is much higher as it can occur over a period of time. The Retail Council of Canada estimates that 1/3 of inventory shrinkage can be caused or attributed to internal theft or employee theft. So how can we minimize internal theft? Well, we're going to look at some different ways of trying to minimize internal theft. But let me first remind you that sometimes your best customer can be a shoplifter and your best employee can be a thief. Well, preventing internal theft has to begin with the hiring process. You must carefully screen the people that you hire. Now, what we find is collectively retailers do a fairly poor job of checking references and doing background checks. Therefore, often retailers end up recycling dishonest employees and end up hiring each other as thieves. Now, it's recommended to check at least 3 or 4 past employee references. Make sure that you speak with the right person or the right people. Begin with the HR department and verify the applicant's start and end of employment dates. Then, if possible, ask to speak with the supervisor in charge at the time of employment. Ask if the candidate left the position or was dismissed. Also ask about their work habits, their level of honesty, their attitude, and would the previous employee be rehired. It is important to carefully listen to the past employer's comments and opinions, but as well, sometimes what is not said should also raise your level of suspicion. Sometimes retailers also have implemented a policy of conducting criminal background checks. It is important to know the status of your inventory. Strict inventory control will give you a good sense of your overall losses, including both the level of shoplifting as well as internal theft. Retailers committed to tracking their inventory on a regular basis generally have a lower incidence of overall theft because they tend to deal with shrinkage before it gets out of control. It is suggested that you perform accurate physical inventory counts a minimum of 4 times annually and compare these figures with the book value in order to determine the lost dollars. You are also sending all employees the message that you are very serious about preventing theft. If your organization is using an employee procedure manual, this would be a good place to include theft policies. If you do not use a manual, it would be a good idea to draft an internal theft policy paper. Inform new employees that you have had previous problems with employee theft and that you're going to go over a few things. Explain the penalties for fraud and theft, and this could be dismissal, suspension, or prosecution, but it must be crystal clear. Make employees understand the consequences of theft and the long-lasting impact of a criminal record. This is especially important with younger, new employees. Consider mentioning that from time to time you employ the services of the security specialist who uses hidden cameras. Even if you have no intention of using hidden cameras, you have placed the seed in the employee's mind that the premises at some point may be under surveillance. A major source of temptation comes when employees are alone in the store, especially when cashing out. Studies indicate that theft in both product and cash occur more often when a staff member is left alone. When more than one employee is present, staff members tend to police themselves. Have a policy where only the front door is used for all staff arrivals and departures. The back door exit is commonly used for internal theft. It may be also helpful to switch up the day-to-day responsibilities. For example, if the same employee always takes out the garbage at the end of the day, after a period of time there may be temptation to drop a few items into the garbage bag, put it into the dumpster, and then retrieve it after hours. Many years can go by with the same person doing the same daily task, which can open up the door for potential theft. Happy employees rarely steal. One of the best methods of keeping employees happy is to provide a positive place to work. This is also good for improving overall business because customer service tends to improve. Number 1, is create a workplace that provides a level of meaning and purpose, a place where employees feel that they're making a difference in the lives of your customers or clients. Number 2, lead by example and be a positive role model. Maintain a good positive attitude and do your best to discourage gossip and negative behavior. Number 3, encourage your employees and praise work well done often, and do this on a regular basis publicly, but provide constructive criticism or discipline only in. Number 4, encourage and challenge your employees to grow. Give them something to work towards. Most people have specific strengths and when possible should be utilized. Number 5, create a teamwork atmosphere where everyone is involved. When people get involved, they feel important and appreciated. This is much more effective than the us against them attitude. Keep the lines of communication open and maintain an open door policy. Listen to others' ideas and welcome all ideas. Another good practice is to reward your staff with discounts and bonuses. A fair and generous staff discount can compensate for low hourly wage or salary and can be very helpful in reducing employee theft. But the discount must be perceived as being generous by staff members in order to be effective. Some businesses have gone to a system of profit sharing with effective results. Now, it is recommended that you have clear policies in place regarding employee discounts and purchases. All staff checkouts should be documented and should be checked out by someone else, preferably a supervisor. Keep track of your keys. Change your locks where non-duplicating keys are used. Always keep a record of how many keys are in circulation and who is in possession of them. When an employee leaves your employment, immediately retrieve all keys. If store keys are not retrieved, it is wise to quickly change locks. It is a small price to pay that in the long run can save you thousands of dollars. Running a tight ship not only means being a good example, but it also means having clear policies and procedures in place. But it also means to enforce these policies. For example, unenforced employee discount policies lead to staff members passing the same savings to their friends and family, which can cost you profits. Make employees accountable and document all returns and voids that occur. Many stores now have a policy where the supervisor must authorize any product returns or voids. All members of your staff, including part-time employees, should be getting regular training in external theft reduction. Most loss prevention experts now agree that this may be one of the more effective ways of reducing employee theft as well. Of course, the added benefit is that this training will also help to minimize shoplifting. Essentially, this will shoplift-proof your business, as most shoplifters, both pro and amateur, avoid stores with a well-trained, alert staff. It is recommended that employees participate in a minimum of 3 shoplift reduction training programs annually. And ideally, one of these training sessions should be a month or 2 before the Christmas shopping season, as statistically December is the costliest month in retail losses. Include staff members in discussions regarding shoplifting issues during your staff meetings. Ask for their feedback, ask for their suggestions in order to reduce external theft. Now, this can be rather helpful after an employee has completed their training in shoplift prevention. Psychologists believe that employees that are involved in the process of reducing shoplifting tend to take a greater level of personal responsibility to reduce all forms of retail shrinkage, and studies are confirming this to be true. Shoplift prevention training is effective because it builds awareness and reminds employees that theft of any kind is not taken lightly at your store, which makes internal theft less appealing and is highly effective as a deterrent. Loss prevention is about creating a mindset. It's about getting your employees involved in the process and creating awareness, which does not have to cost your business a great deal of money. Even if you employ the services of a loss prevention company to control your losses, you still will benefit in the reduction of internal theft or employee theft by providing good external loss training. In the past, external theft training required a fairly large investment, but today there are some good online programs that are both effective and relatively inexpensive.